Hello, I'm Catriona Ward, and I'm wishing Mother Horror a very happy birthday. I'm going to be reading from The Last House on Needless Street, which comes out in September from Tor Nightfire. It's about a very strange man named Ted who lives in a boarded up house at the end of Needless Street. And Needless Street itself ends in this great, wild, roiling forests of the Pacific Northwest in Washington State. And Ted lives with his teenage daughter, Lauren, and a very disapproving cat named Olivia, who narrates part of the story. And children have been going missing in the area for some years, disappearances that have never been explained and no bodies found or anything like that. And a young woman named Dee comes to believe that Ted is responsible for those disappearances and in particular the disappearance of her own younger sister at a nearby lake. So she moves into the house next door to him, the second to last house on Needless Street, and essentially starts surveillance on him to establish whether he's culpable or not. And things come to a head when Lauren, Ted's own daughter, goes missing, and Olivia the cat does some investigating. It sounds a lot weirder than it is. Anyway, I'll read from the beginning. Ted Bannerman. Today is the anniversary of Little Girl with Popsicle. It happened by the lake 11 years ago. She was there, and then she wasn't. So it's already a bad day when I discover there is a murderer among us. Olivia lands heavily on my stomach first thing, making high-pitched sounds like clockwork. If there's anything better than a cat on the bed, I don't know about it. I fuss over her because when Lauren arrives later, she will vanish. My daughter and my cat won't be in the same room. I'm up, I say. It's your turn to make breakfast. She looks at me with those yellow-green eyes and then pads away. She finds a disc of sun, flings herself down and blinks in my direction. Cats don't get jokes. I fetch the newspaper from the front step. I like the local because it has a rare bird alert. You can write in if you see something special like a northern flicker or a Siberian accentor. Even this early, the dim air is warm as soup. The street feels even quieter than usual, hushed, like it's remembering. When I see the front page, my stomach goes into curls and knots. There she is. I forgot it was today. I'm not so good with time. They always use the same picture. Her eyes are big in the shadow of her hat brim, her fingers clenched on the stick as if she thinks someone might take it away from her. Her hair lies wet and sheeny on her skull, short as a boy's. She has been swimming, but no one's wrapping her in a fluffy towel to dry her. I don't like that. She might catch cold. They don't print the other picture, the one of me. They got in big trouble for that. No, though not big enough, if you ask me. She was 6. Everyone was upset. We have a problem with that around here, especially by the lake, so things happened fast. The police searched the houses of everyone in the county who might hurt children. I wasn't allowed to wait inside while they did it, so I stood out on the steps. It was summer, bright and hot as the surface of a star. My skin burned slowly as the afternoon wore on. I listened as they pushed back the ugly blue rug in the living room and tore up the floorboards and knocked a hole in the wall in the back of my closet because they thought it sounded hollow. Dogs went all over my yard, my bedroom, everything. I knew what kind of dogs they were. They had the white trees of death in their eyes. A thin man with a camera came and took pictures as I stood there, and I didn't think to stop him. No picture, no story, he said to me as he left. I didn't know what that meant, but he waved goodbye in a cheerful way, so I waved back. What is it, Mr. Bannerman? The woman detective looked like a possum, very tired. Nothing, I was shaking. Got to be quiet, little Teddy. My teeth made little clicks like I was cold, but I was so hot. You were yelling my name and the word green, I believe. I must have been thinking about the story I made up when I was a kid about the lost boys who turned into green things at the lake. She gave me a look. I knew it well. I get that look all the time. I held tight to the trunk of the little oak in the front yard, and the tree lent me its strength. Was there something to tell? If so, it hovered just over the edge of my thoughts. Mr. Bannerman, is this your only residence? No other property around here? No hunting cabin? Nothing like that? She wiped sweat off her top lip. Care weighed down on her like an anvil on her back. No, I said. No. She wouldn't understand about the weekend place. The police went away in the end. They had to, because I was at the 7-Eleven all afternoon, and everyone says so. The security tape says so. What I used to do there was, I sat outside on the sidewalk by the sliding doors. When they parted with a whoosh and released people in a blast of cold air, I asked for candy. Sometimes, if they had it, they gave it to me, and sometimes they even bought it for me. Mommy would have been ashamed if she knew, but I loved candy so much. I never went near the lake or Little Girl with Popsicle. When they finally finished and let me back in the house, I could smell them all over. Traces of cologne, sweat, squeaky rubber, and chemicals. I was upset that they'd seen my precious things, like the picture of Mommy and Daddy. The photograph was fading even then, their features growing pale. They were leaving me, vanishing into white. Then there was the broken music box on the mantel. Mommy bought it from her faraway home. The music box didn't play because I broke it the same day I smashed the Russian dolls, the day of the thing with the mouse. The little ballerina was snapped from her stem, felled, and dead. Maybe I felt worst about her. I call her Eloise. I don't know why. She just looks like an Eloise. I heard Mummy's beautiful voice in my ear. You take everything from me, Theodore. Take, take, take. These people had looked at all my stuff with their eyes and thoughts, and the house didn't feel like mine anymore. I closed my eyes and breathed deeply to calm myself. When I opened them again, the Russian doll smiled fatly back. Beside her sat the music box. Eloise the ballerina stood proud and upright, arms perfect and poised above her head. Mommy and Daddy smiled down from the photograph. My beautiful orange rug was like soft pills underfoot. I felt better right away. Everything was okay. I was home. Olivia's head butted my palm. I laughed and picked her up. That made me feel even better. But overhead, in the attic, the green boys stirred. The next day I was in the newspaper. The headline was Suspect's House Searched, and there I was, standing in front of the house. They searched other houses, but the article made it sound like it was just mine, and I guess those people were smart enough to cover their faces. No picture, no story. They put my photograph right alongside the one of Little Girl with Popsicle, which was a story in itself. The picture didn't show the name of the street, but people must have recognized it, I guess. Rocks and bricks came through the windows, so many. As soon as I replaced a pane, another rock came through. I felt like I was going crazy. It happened so many times that I gave up and nailed plywood over the windows. It slowed them down. Not much fun throwing rocks when there's nothing to break. But I stopped going out during the day. That was a bad time.